Ming-Hua is the psychic waterbender of the Red Lotus, known for her unmatched skill and unique fighting style. She's one of the most powerful waterbenders we've ever seen, easily the most dynamic member of the Red Lotus, and a force to be reckoned with in the entire series. What's wild about Ming-Hua is how much she accomplishes with just her signature 2 water arms. She rarely needs anything more. She can toss White Lotus sentries like ragdolls, sending them flying to their doom. With a single slap of her water arms, she can crack solid ground. Her ice drill technique easily tunnels through thick layers of ice, all with those 2 arms. Her style isn't just powerful, it's precise. Ming-Hua's sharp control reflects her unorthodox and highly creative approach to bending. In one jaw-dropping moment, she uses the water on the temple floor to pull off 3 moves in rapid succession. First, she creates a water spout, then transitions it into a water slide, and at the same time, shifts one arm into an ice spear to skewer Kaya, all in the blink of an eye, and she's smiling while doing it. Ming-Hua is also the fastest waterbender we've ever seen, hands down. Using her water tendrils like Spider-Man, she swings across vast distances with ease, blending speed and agility in a way that's never seen in the Avatar universe. But it's not just raw power or speed with her. Ming-Hua is a predator, someone who thrives on outsmarting and overwhelming her opponents with her unpredictability and creativity.
Go get the Avatar. I have these 2 under control.
Now, Unalaq is no lightweight. As a deeply spiritual waterbender, he's mastered techniques that most benders wouldn't dare to attempt. Love him or hate him as a villain, you can't deny his skill. He's shown he can handle extreme conditions, like smoothly fighting in icy tundras without breaking a sweat. When it comes to combat, speed is everything, and Unalaq is surprisingly fast. He's held his own against Korra and Mako at the same time, jumping impressive heights and ice surfing to cushion his fall while keeping up the fight. His travel speed rivals the best, just slightly behind benders like Zahir and Avatar Wan. And his combat reflexes, they're on par with Korra's, who's known for being one of the fastest in the Avatarverse. What makes Unalaq truly dangerous is how he combines speed with offense and defense. He's not just fast, he's calculated, turning himself into a mobile powerhouse that can challenge a fully realized avatar. But let's talk about his power. Unalaq can create massive ice chasms, crush opponents with huge amounts of ice, and shatter defenses like Tonrak's ice shields. In one fight, he destroyed Bolin's boulder, neutralized Mako's fire blast, and then overpowered Bolin, all in the blink of an eye. His precision is equally impressive. From maintaining intricate techniques like the ice drill to redirecting attacks and wielding flexible ice whips, Unalaq showcases incredible control. He even floats mid-air on a stream of water, proving just how creative he gets with his bending.
Don't let them escape this time.
Ming-Hua turned her disability into her greatest strength, relying entirely on her element to do what others couldn't even imagine. Her adaptability in combat was insane. She could take on multiple opponents at once, block incoming attacks, and counter with lightning-fast precision. And her creative use of waterbending, honestly, it was next level. Take her water whips, for example. Ming-Hua didn't just use them to attack, she turned them into extensions of her body, moving with a fluidity that made her almost untouchable. And that ice drill she created to bust Pali out of prison, it wasn't just powerful, it was smart. She drilled through multiple layers of ice using pure technique and precision. That's not something you see every day. Her fighting style thrived on chaos. Ming-Hua was all about overwhelming her opponents with speed and unpredictability. She didn't just bend water, she used it to dominate the battlefield, twisting her environment to her advantage. But there's a catch. Her offensive focus meant she didn't rely much on defense. Against someone with raw power, she might struggle to hold her ground if she couldn't keep up her relentless pace. And let's not forget her mindset. Ming-Hua wasn't in it to just win a fight. She fought with the intent to finish her opponent. That assassin-like mentality made her one of the scariest waterbenders to face.
He's the man who just took down the Earth Queen. You want to be next?
Now, Unalaq was a completely different story. He often gets overlooked because his style wasn't flashy, but that was kind of the point. He didn't waste energy on unnecessary moves. Everything he did was precise and intentional. Unalaq wasn't just about raw power. He combined strategy with subtlety, using techniques like water vortexes or manipulating ice to trap and overwhelm his opponents. And while he didn't rely on massive displays of power, he could deliver when it mattered. What really made Unalaq dangerous was his composure. He was calm, strategic, and always in control. Even when facing multiple opponents, including the Avatar, he didn't panic. He saved his bigger moves for when they would be most effective, which shows just how disciplined he was. But here's the thing, his focus on control and restraint might make him vulnerable against someone as chaotic and unpredictable as Ming-Hua. Ming-Hua and Unalaq are like two sides of the same coin, representing extremes in waterbending. Ming-Hua thrived on speed, creativity, and overwhelming force. Unalaq, on the other hand, was all about precision, strategy, and maintaining control. That said, while Unalaq displayed impressive skills, even without his merge with Vaatu, let's be honest, he's good, but he's not Ming-Hua good when it comes to creativity and sheer combat intensity. It's fascinating to think about how their styles contrast, isn't it? One is the storm, unpredictable and relentless. The other is the calm before the storm, steady and calculating. Watching these two in action is like seeing waterbending at its most chaotic and its most controlled.
Now it's over!
Alright, so we know they're both amazing benders with completely different styles, but how would they handle a fight against each other? One thing I'm sure of is that Ming-Hua wouldn't waste any time. Her plan would be simple but devastating. Overwhelm Unalaq with her speed and relentless attacks. She'd close the gap in an instant, forcing him into close combat where her water arms give her a massive advantage. The way she fights is chaotic and unpredictable. Feints, surprise strikes, and constant adjustments would keep Unalaq on the back foot. She thrives in fast-paced, high-pressure situations, so her goal would be to dominate the fight before Unalaq has a chance to establish control. Unalaq, on the other hand, would take a far more calculated approach. He'd keep his distance, using large-scale waterbending to reshape the battlefield. Icy terrain, defensive walls, and precise counterattacks would all work to slow Ming-Hua down and limit her ability to maneuver. His calm and strategic mindset would allow him to bide his time, waiting for the perfect opening to strike. His experience in long, drawn-out battles would give him an edge in wearing Ming-Hua down, using her aggression against her when she overextends. So, with all that has been said, if these two former allies were to fight, let's say in any of the water tribes, who would win?
Water Arm Lady and Lava Guy found us.
For starters, Unalaq wasn't just one of the best waterbenders, he was a skilled combatant. Take his fights with Mako and Bolin, for example. These two are athletes, not the most powerful benders, but far from incompetent. Mako, in particular, has reacted to explosions on multiple occasions, yet Unalaq blitzed him with a water stream not once, but twice. Now, I know Ming-Hua is incredibly fast. No one's denying she's the quickest and most agile person in this matchup, but speed alone doesn't always win fights. Her style often struggles against opponents who can counter her bursts of energy with precision and overwhelming force, something Unalaq was more than capable of doing. What's fascinating about Unalaq is his calm and composed demeanor. He never looks like he's exerting himself, which makes you wonder how much power he's holding back. Take his fight with Tonrak, for example. He flipped the switch when needed and displayed a level of ruthlessness that often goes unnoticed. But does all of that mean he can defeat Ming-Hua? I would argue no. Ming-Hua has an edge that's hard to ignore. Her ability to turn incoming attacks into fuel for her own strikes. We saw this when Kaya blasted her off a balcony with a massive water attack. Instead of going down, Ming-Hua absorbed the water into her arms and came back even stronger. Unalaq could try using his large-scale water attacks, tidal waves, defensive walls, or even spiral waves, but Ming-Hua's creativity and agility would likely render them ineffective. She'd use his own water against him, tripping him, tossing him, and keeping him on the defensive. Her fight with the twins is a perfect example of how she handles relentless attacks. She dodged ice darts, maneuvered through massive spikes with ease, and used her environment to trap them, all in a matter of seconds. And let's not forget her ice drill. Breaking Pali out of prison by drilling through layers of ice shows not just her creativity, but her ability to adapt under pressure. Even in close combat, her water arms give her an advantage in mobility and reach, allowing her to outmaneuver and overpower most opponents. Unalaq, on the other hand, relies heavily on the water in his environment for his attacks. While that's usually an advantage, against Ming-Hua, it becomes a double-edged sword. Every tidal wave he throws at her only makes her stronger. That said, Unalaq's composure and precision mean he wouldn't go down without a fight. His calculated approach and powerful waterbending could land some solid hits on Ming-Hua, but ultimately, her speed, adaptability, and relentless offense give her the upper hand. It's a close fight, no doubt, but Ming-Hua takes the win. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're into Avatar battles and breakdowns like this, check out the next video on your screen. This is Mindbursters, and until next time, stay geeky.
I never thought I'd be so happy to see your ugly mugs again.
Great to see you too, Ming-Hua.